start. You always start.
Are we going to start now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
And this is my so-called whatever.
Yes. We are recording on a Saturday afternoon.
We are. It feels weird and...
it's light out.
It is light out, and I don't know. I'm not tired.
Yeah.
I'm always tired.
I feel like sometimes we do better when we're tired.
We get punchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe we think we're better.
Maybe.
But in reality.
Yeah.
So I think we should just get right into it.
I think so too. Let's do it.
Why delay the awesome
right
that is about to come before you?
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Sure.
Before you?
Sounds great.
So last week we were on the Welcome to RealiTV Podcast.
Yes, and you may have caught that.
With our friend Jodie.
Yes.
And
our very cool friend Jodie.
We have to add that she is pretty friggin' awesome.
Yep.
And we are so, so happy to have her with us today. So welcome, Jodie, from Welcome to RealiTV Podcast.
Yay.
Hello.
We're so happy to have you.
I am so excited to be here. You have no idea.
So, why don't we just take a moment, just if you wanted to tell us what your podcast is all about. You know that Nikki and I are very familiar, but some of our listeners might not be. And if you just wanted to just a little intro on what you are, would be great.
Absolutely. I am a girl who loves to watch reality TV. So hence the name, Welcome to RealiTV. Get it? Drop the Y, add a V, RealiTV. And basically, I watch all kinds of reality shows. Always have loved them since I was 8 or 9 years old. Everything on TV, from TLC shows like The Duggars, 90 Day Fiancé, MTV's Teen Mom, Bravo Real Housewives, even documentaries, true crime. I watch them because I love them. I love to hate them. And on the podcast, I really break down episodes of shows that I watch and bring it to the masses who are listening and in the Facebook group, and really just hack away at it and talk about all those things that make us cringe.
I love it. And I'm just going to let you guys listening know, if you're not into reality TV, it's okay. Because guess what? You listen to it and then you're going to want to watch it.
And then you're going to go find 90 Day Fiancé on TLC Go.
Yes. I have a question for you, Jodie.
Yes.
What was the first reality TV show that you ever watched?
I think it would have to be The Real World.
Love The Real World.
I mean, that show really opened doors.
Yeah, it did.
That was, that was like the first mainstream reality TV show, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, what happens when you live in a house, you stop being polite and start getting real. Wasn't that the tagline?
Yes,
it was.
Here's the true story
of seven strangers.
Picked
True
to live in a
story.
House. Yes, picked to live in a house.
And have their lives taped.
To find out what happens when people stop being polite.
And start getting real.
The Real World.
Don't you just get goosebumps thinking about it?
Yes,
I really
How
do.
did we remember that? That's pretty good.
Because, it was like we watched that.
Yeah.
That was my life for like 15, no.
And I love that she just said,
like
true
12 years.
Story, because
True story?
Yeah.
Jon Brennan.
John.
Yes. Oh, how's he doing?
I'm sure he's married with a few kids.
No, I think he's still single.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. I will add that to my list of who to stalk on Google.
Yes.
Yeah, but we need to find out. We need to find this out.
I think he still is an aspiring country star.
Oh, John, it's probably not going to happen, buddy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. He can still...
It is okay. You can dream.
Right, exactly.
Keep that dream alive.
Yeah, live the dream.
I wonder what he does for like a day job.
Maybe he works at KFC.
I don't think he works at KFC.
That was random. I'm sorry.
What about him screams KFC at you?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I have weird, like, things that pop in my head, and I've just learned in the past, like, year just to say them. And so, maybe he does. I don't know, maybe he owns a KFC.
I actually think he's the type that enjoys making his mom breakfast on the weekends. He makes a really good omelet and bacon. Can't you see it?
I could see that.
That's nice.
He's like, hey, Mom, I'm coming over.
He was very nice.
He was a very nice gentleman. Very nice Southern gentleman.
And he lives in Kentucky. Maybe that's why you think he worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
See, I told you. Sometimes these visions.
I just looked him up.
Do you think this is the most anyone has talked about Jon Brennan since 1991?
Possibly.
More than likely. So we've come together today because we touched on Jodie's episode last week. We just touched upon TV, like network television, when we were like growing up in the 90s, mostly early 90s, early to mid 90s.
Because I don't feel like it's not a core thing like it used to be because of on-demand TV and
you don't really find these things.
You know, I hadn't invented on-demand TV yet because I invented that.
You did invent that.
Are you the Romeo and Michelle? Like they invented Post-its? You invented the DVR?
So let me just tell you, second grade, Brooke was in my class and we had this invention fair. And so my big thing was a VCR. I actually come up with the idea and then you'd like make a prototype that didn't necessarily work. So obviously my prototype didn't work. Because it was like I was in second grade, but it was a VCR.
You were a child,
right? And I I used tinfoil and stuff like that, But it was a VCR that could tape a week's worth of programming, and it would make a mark like. It somehow knew when one show would start and the other one and when it would end. So that way you could fast forward, say you didn't want to watch Cheers that week. So I had a whole explanation.
This is good. You're like you were Doogie Howser before Doogie Howser.
I wouldn't give myself that much credit. The whole thing, my mind didn't go that far because you couldn't record things that were on at the same time.
Right.
So.
Do you want to know what my invention was?
I do.
You'll see how much smarter you are than I am. Mine was, which same thing as you, it actually exists now. It is the squeezable mayonnaise jar.
That is an amazing invention,
I said
Jodie.
A squeezable mayonnaise jar that would have a slit at the top, almost like ketchup, but it would have to be a flat slit. Yep. You would turn it over and squeeze it out, and sure enough, it exists now. And where are my millions?
It's one of my favorite things, to be honest.
Jodie, you're blowing my mind.
You don't have to get out a knife to open the jar, get it out, smear it on. You just turn it over and squeeze.
You just squish it out.
That's amazing.
And it's wonderful for tuna because there's nothing worse than making
Brooke and her tuna.
A can of tuna. No, I'm very passionate about this. So you have your tuna, you put it in the bowl, you have a fork to scruff it up.
Yeah.
Whatever the word is.
Do you put relish?
No, I'm a tuna purist.
Oh.
I like
so
tuna.
What's in your tuna?
Tuna and mayo.
But it's the right consistency,
But it's the right mix of both. And I like my tuna very, very flaky. Flaked really, really well and really dry. So it doesn't get sloppy.
Are we talking mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
Mayonnaise.
Don't you talk about Miracle Whip in front of me.
You hate it?
Is a curse word.
Yeah, my mom, that's all we had growing up. And the only time I'd ever get mayonnaise is at Brooke's house.
Okay, we're the opposite because all my friends would have Miracle Whip. And so once you taste Miracle Whip, it's like, wow, what is this? So I liked Miracle Whip. Is this a Midwestern thing? Because I've never heard just plain mayonnaise and tuna. We put in little things, little chopped up celery, egg, salt, pepper, or relish, like a pickle relish.
That's
fancy sandwich time.
That is too fancy for me.
That's like finger sandwiches. That I'm like, no thanks. I just want my tuna and mayonnaise.
I just want tuna and mayo and a little salt and pepper.
Right.
A little salt and pepper.
Yeah. A little bit
does the body good.
Do you make tuna just for one sandwich at a time, or do you make a batch and keep it in the fridge?
I like to have a batch, but it doesn't last long.
Right.
You know what goes very, very well? Lay's potato chips.
I can see that. That's a good salt factor. It's a good hit of salt.
Divine.
It is.
We're really getting into this tuna conversation.
It's okay. I think people will appreciate it.
Just call it the Tuna and Jon Brennan episode.
Yes. Tuna, Jon Brennan. I like this conversation.
I like this conversation too.
Julie's like, what the hell? I thought we were supposed to be talking about 80s and 90s stuff.
So, as we were talking about our inventions.
Yes.
So let's go back. The whole reason why that mayonnaise invention is so genius is because, and this all started with my tuna thing. So when I'm making tuna, I have my fork that I flake my tuna with. And then you have this big friggin' spoon. Because you can't use the fork to dip out the tuna because you don't want tuna in the mayonnaise. So I have a separate spoon to take out my mayonnaise. Well, then that's another dirty dish.
Right.
And I don't want that.
Right.
So I like the squeeze bottle. And you can get the exact amount you need.
Genius. Jodie, you deserve
I need my
a medal.
Hellman's. I know, my Hellman's Millions.
Somebody was listening to you talk about it. They made note, and then they took it and ran
They were
with
like,
it.
hey, this kid has a really good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to steal it.
Yeah. Some guy was taking notes in the background.
Creepy.
That's
old
kind of
creeper.
weird. I was going to say, I did go to a Catholic grade school, so there probably were some creepers
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
there.
Oh, man.
So, bringing it back full circle or half circle, we're going to
Semicircle.
talk about semicircle. What we're talking about is TGIF.
The best of the best.
For reals.
Mm-hmm.
For reals.
I wish we had that now, because it comes Friday night and I don't know what to do with my kids. We've watched every movie, every show. There's nothing good on. I would love to sit down with a good TGIF section.
I know. And like with shows that were of the caliber
Mm-hmm.
that they were back then.
Right. Before we recorded on Friday nights, we kind of do that. Like, I'd make my own TGIF. Like,
Yeah.
we'd watch the Goldbergs, and we'd watch, I can't think off the top of my head, but that's what we would do. We sometimes do it on Saturday night.
And I feel like that's kind of the closest we have right now to
Yeah.
TGIF is Wednesday nights on ABC.
Yes.
Currently, because
Yes.
you have The Middle, The Goldbergs,
I love The Middle.
Modern Family. But I feel like that's the closest we have. But again, it's just not as exciting as TGIF was back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like TGIF, so it kind of started in like 1989, like the fall of 89. So
Oh.
it really kind of ushered in the 90s. Some of these shows started before then.
1989 was a groundbreaking year.
It really was.
I mean, let me tell you,
So many things changed.
for the better.
Like music.
Music had like a big change
Yeah.
right around then. I mean, TV got better clearly with these lineups.
Donny Osmond came out with Soldier of Love.
It really was a year for the record books.
Yes, it was.
I mean, right off the bat, what's the first show that you guys think about when you think TGIF Friday nights?
Full House.
Hands down.
Right.
It's like it was named for that show.
Mm-hmm.
It was
That iconic house.
oh, that house is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but think about this, as I was thinking about this today. That house exterior, you can close your eyes, you can see it. I never put two and two together that the interior of that house was supposed to be the interior. There's no way that layout could be inside an old Victorian.
Absolutely not.
No.
And can I just tell you, this is something that I have thought about and has bothered me since I can remember. Even as a kid, I remember thinking that window doesn't match up with that exterior of that house. That door doesn't match up with that exterior.
Really?
Yes. It bothered me so much. The driveway did not match up.
You're right, because they would go out the back door to go to the garage area.
Right.
Now, how about that girl's bedrooms? Oh,
Oh my gosh.
the window seat.
I always wanted a window seat. And okay, it always kind of bothered me that Michelle had her own room in the beginning.
Can I say something that might be a little controversial?
Please do.
I never thought the Olsen twins were cute.
No, me either. I'm so happy you said that.
I had to get that off my chest. I've been bearing that load for about 30 years.
I seriously literally have always said if Michelle was never on that show, if there were no Olsen twins, it would have been better, in my opinion.
Now you got your wish.
And she was a little bratty. She was a little bratty.
She was a little a-hole. It was always about her. Even right up to the last episode. Like, the very last episode was all about her. There were qualities that bugged me.
Okay, I was a hardcore watcher in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then, as we got older,
Well,
I didn't
right.
watch it as much. I still would catch it on the fly, but...
Did you watch when Uncle Jesse married Becky and they lived in the attic? That's when I stopped watching, when they had those twin boys with the overgrown hair, Alex and Nikki.
Yep, that's about the time that I didn't watch as much anymore. I'd still catch an episode here and there, if I was
Yeah.
home on Friday night. But for the most part, I don't think we were home on Friday nights as much.
Right.
So that kind of cut into our TGIF.
So I watched right up until around like the last season or so, but I would miss them here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them all over again in reruns 75 times.
Can I ask if you guys remember this? Okay, get ready. You might need to take your earphones off. If every word I said
Oh my God.
could make you laugh, I'd
I'd
talk
talk
forever.
Ooh.
Jesse and the Rippers.
Oh my God. Forever.
Ever.
Forever. Okay.
Hey, it's good that other people are singing besides me.
That song, okay. I hate the song, but I love the song.
Oh, I love it too.
It's so cheesy. Do you remember the episode where he was over in Japan?
No.
Okay, this is very specific, but there's an episode he's over in Japan. It was, don't even ask me how I know this, although I could take you down the trail. But it was aired in like 1993. He had the twins and Becky, and they were over in Japan because he was on tour with Jesse and the Rippers. And he was super, super popular over there. Incredibly popular. But there was this whole thing, like that was his moment. He could have become super, super famous. And he was like, I love my family. I'm going back to San Francisco.
I remember the Beach Boys episode.
The Beach Boys, like they were friends. And he was in their music video, like for real.
Kokomo?
I think so, yeah, because he used to tour with them.
Wait, for real? Like John Stamos?
For real. Just gonna put it out there. He was super hot.
Yeah, he was. He still
He
is.
still is.
He still is.
Yeah.
One of the primary reasons that I watched Scream Queens
Was because of him.
was because of him.
He's pretty incredible.
Well, him and,
Oh, Nick Jonas?
no, Taylor Lautner.
Oh, yes.
Which
Taylor
I'm
Lautner.
kind of weird about because it's like...
Hello, I just got excited about Nick Jonas.
Yeah, but, and then
He's legal now.
it even had a cameo appearance by
Jerry O'Connell?
Jerry O'Connell.
Okay, I can get on board with Jerry.
We like Jerry O'Connell.
I love Jerry O'Connell.
Love me some Jerry O'Connell.
He kept liking things,
He did.
and I was like,
He was one of like
Hey,
like the first like
let's talk.
verified people.
Liked.
Come on our podcast.
Yes.
Can we go Greek cousin adjacent to Jesse Katsopoulos and talk about cousin Larry Appleton and Belki Bartakamus from the island of Mypos?
I am so glad that you remembered Mypos. I was going to ask if you remembered where he was from.
Oh, of course.
Balky drove me crazy. I really felt for Larry. As like a 9-year-old girl watching this show, I felt for Larry. And I also didn't understand, how do these two guys have these hot stewardess girlfriends?
Well, wait, hold on. So you liked cousin Larry Appleton?
I did. I felt bad for him.
He was too neurotic for me, and I'm neurotic, so that's like a lot.
I mean, I liked Balky. Balky made me laugh. He was fun loving.
And now we do the dance of joy. Die, 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 die,
Oh my
die, die, die,
gosh.
die.
It drove me crazy though.
I wasn't allowed to watch that show
You couldn't
What?
watch Perfect Strangers?
because it drove my dad crazy.
Oh. Yeah.
He'd be like, "Nope, you can watch. No, we're not watching this. We're not watching. Nope, 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 nope."
I could see that.
It's kind
I
of
can
like
see that
me
too,
in the
totally.
YouTube videos. Like, you can watch them while I'm not here.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get upstairs, I do not want to hear anything about Minecraft. Please.
Do they ask you to play?
Yes, but I got really frustrated when I was playing with them, and because they kept like making me die, like they kept like building on me, and I said, I'm not playing with you guys anymore, and I haven't played since.
Well, you're nice. You at least did it. I told my son 7, and he asked me, I'm like, there's nothing I would rather do less than play Minecraft, and it's never going to happen. Do you know that there was a spinoff from Family Matters? Do you know that there was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers, and that was Family Matters?
Do you have my notes in front of you? Because that is literally what is right on my paper.
I did not know that.
Yeah. This is a common theme with those TGIF shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would take like a character, like a very like
Very obscure character.
obscure is the word I was looking for, and would spin off a series. And it was like a throwaway character. Like if the series did well, great.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't, well then they lost that character, big deal. Nobody's going to miss them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, really worked in the case of Family Matters.
I loved that show. I
love that show.
I really loved the older brother there.
You did?
Oh yeah. I was all about him.
What was his name? I can't even remember his name.
Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie Winslow.
Eddie Winslow.
Yes.
Because the mom, Harriet, on Perfect Strangers was the elevator attendant. They even have those anymore. And her husband, Carl, we all remember Carl,
Yes.
was on an episode because he was the Chicago cop, and that's where they got their spinoff.
I loved Carl.
Did you? See, he drove me nuts. I was like,
Really?
just relax, man. Chill out.
Steve Urkel drove me nuts.
Did I do that?
But how huge was Steve Urkel?
Really huge. He had his own doll.
And he was supposed to be a throwaway character. He didn't show up until halfway through the first season.
Right. Honestly, if it were not for him, that show would not have gone as long as it did. But he drove me crazy.
See, Laura drove me crazy. I think...
I liked Laura.
No, I thought she had to stick up her ass.
Nikki just gave a thumbs up to the computer. What's interesting, I think, is that Family Matters, it aired from 89 to 97 on ABC. And then in 97, it jumped over to CBS.
Did it really?
This was like before CBS had all those really good shows. They were just like taking ABC leftovers. Because that happened with another show too.
What other show?
Well, we can go right into it.
Okay.
Step by step.
I loved that show.
Day by day.
Day by day.
I loved Step by Step.
Oh,
The roller coaster intro when it builds up.
Did you know that roller coaster's not really on the coast?
What?
That water is like computer generated.
Is it really?
Do you know what drove me nuts during that intro was when the dorky blonde brother sneezed into the popcorn and it flew everywhere? I don't know why. Every time I would watch, I'd be like, that's not real. He just wasted that. It would piss me off every time.
Did it fly out or did he like shake it?
No, it looked like it flew out. Or maybe it was a violent sneeze and his whole body shook or something.
He was dorky. Mark.
So that also went to CBS?
It did. So that was on from 91 to 97. And then in 97 for the last season, it was at CBS.
That's so weird.
ABC was like, I'm done with you. And CBS is like, I'll take the leftovers.
And then do you remember Cousin Cody, the surfer dude? And then he had legal trouble.
He did have legal trouble.
Like in RL?
Yeah. In like
Yeah.
1995 for like spousal, like domestic violence or something.
Oh, no.
But then it was okay.
What do you mean?
It got dismissed or he was cleared or something.
Oh.
And then he like kind of came back to the show.
But things were just never the same.
I don't think things were the same. I think it was tainted a little bit, but he was hot.
Now, do you remember daughter, it might have been Dana, because she was on another show from the early 90s, 80s.
My Two Dads.
That's right. Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
I loved that show.
I loved My Two Dads so
That was a good show.
much.
You can count on me no matter where you go. Do you remember the theme song or no?
Oh my gosh. Like, as you're singing, I'm like, I do
That
remember
just like
it.
brought back memories.
But you just pulled that out of somewhere.
Yeah. That was
So
crazy.
this is the brain
Yes.
I've been cursed
You
with.
can count on me. Oh my gosh.
But they had
Yes.
a couch, right? It was like a car.
Or was it the lips? Remember there was a car couch.
It was like a Cadillac.
Yeah, it was
the
like
front end of a car.
It
Right.
was. And then they had the lips, too,
Yeah,
right?
what- was it a lip phone or a lip couch?
I think it was a lip couch.
Because one of the dads was an artist, right?
Yes, one.
One down to earth dad, one dad with his head in the clouds.
That's right.
That was such a good show, too. But I remember, like, I remembered her at the time, like, she was the only one that I really knew, other than, what's her name, Suzanne Summers, that was on the show. But I thought that was definitely cool. And Brandon Call, I thought he was pretty cute, too. I was all right with that. I don't remember his name on the show. His real life name was Brandon Call, and he
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
on the last
Brandon.
season. What?
Was it Brandon?
I don't know.
I don't remember him.
He was the older brother, like the older Lambert brother. But that was just a great show.
One of the girls that's on Hollywood Darlings, was she on Step by Step or was she on Just the 10 of Us?
What's Hollywood Darling?
I don't know that either.
I have no idea what
The
that
one
is.
that's on Pop?
I've never heard of it.
It's with Stephanie Tanner and the girl from...
A reality show?
No, it's like one of those, it's like what Return of the Mac was.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep. Okay.
So
I don't know what the show is.
It's her, and then it's, what's her name from Seventh Heaven? Beverly...
Mitchell?
Yes. So it's a three
Maybe
of
I
them.
have seen a little something
Is
about
it called Hollywood Darlings?
I have no idea.
The girl that was on it, I always get confused if she was on Step by Step. And she played kind of a tomboy.
Christine?
Yes.
Lakin?
Yes,
Lakin?
that's it.
She was on Step by Step.
Okay.
And she was a wicked tomboy, and then, like, toward the end of the series, she was, like, not. And can I just tell you, I should say my favorite episode of just about every single one of these shows is their very special Disney World episodes.
Yes. Okay. Fully in for that. I love a good Disney World road trip.
Oh my gosh. Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step, and we haven't talked about it yet, but Boy Meets World. And also, we haven't talked about it yet, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. All went to Disney World.
Didn't Sabrina the Teenage Witch also go to CBS?
CVS?
Did I say CBS?
I sounded like CVS.
CBS?
WB.
Oh, but where did it start?
ABC.
Okay.
So, I loved their Disney episodes. Every single one of them. And as a matter of fact, they're all saved on my DVR.
Well, that's nice.
I watch them from time to time. Roseanne also went, but she wasn't on TGIF. But it was like these ABC shows.
Yeah.
when Disney acquired ABC. Yeah.
Oh!
So Disney acquired,
That's
bought
right.
ABC back in the late 80s, early 90s. And then they were like, let's send all of our shows to Disney World.
Okay.
And they literally did over a course of 3 years.
I always thought how fun that must have been for those actors and actresses. I remember being young, being like, I wish I was DJ Tanner going to Disney World.
And then Steve shows up.
Oh, hey, Steve.
Runs down the stairs, or she runs down the stairs at him.
Isn't there one episode where they're trying to find Goofy or Pluto, or someone's in a costume or something? They're constantly looking for the character. The character's trying to hide. Am I making this up in my brain? This is my secret Disney fantasy.
I literally can't think of what that would be. So Full House, they're looking for Michelle because she's lost, of course. She ran away because she got pissed.
Why? Because she couldn't go on a ride?
Exactly.
Let her go. Let her go.
She wouldn't go on the carousel. They went on the carousel 6 times. And she's like, I want to go on the carousel again. I'm princess for the day. And Stephanie was like, that was my turn. She was pissed at Michelle because Michelle went ahead of her and she got to be princess for the day. So then Michelle ran off.
I would have called her bluff. Just let her run around for a little bit.
Seriously. And then they found Michelle and they threw her a friggin' tea party.
Oh,
because that teaches a lesson.
They threw her a tea party because she's back. Michelle's back. Oh my gosh. No, Michelle, you should be grounded. Take the crown off. Give it to Stephanie.
No electronics for you for today.
yeah, there's no pouting at Disney World. Your parents just spent several thousands of dollars to bring you here. You're not pouting at Disney World.
Seriously. So, but then in the same, it was a 2-part episode, The House Meets the Mouse, part 1 and 2. On this same, episode, whatever, another storyline was DJ kept seeing Steve everywhere.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of with the character. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
They saw the Indiana Jones stunt show and he was on stage as Indiana Jones. A figment of her imagination. It was the actor, but she kept thinking it was Steve. And she yelled out, Steve. And everybody looked at her. She's like, you're not really Steve. It was kind of weird.
Was she going through a thing with him? Did they have, a bad goodbye?
No, she really missed him.
You're gone for
She
a week.
really missed her boyfriend.
You're gone for a week.
And... she saw Prince Charming and she thought it was Steve.
Okay, if that were my daughter at any point in her life, I will roll my eyes so hard and smack some sense into her.
You're
that's
at
ridiculous.
the happiest place on earth.
You were a teenager.
Right.
And you're fine.
Did he end up going there?
He did. He showed up.
Because they missed each other so much?
Yes,
How'd
he
he
just
get the
missed her
plane
so
ticket?
much.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, did his parents buy him a plane ticket?
Because teenagers apparently, in 93, could just get a plane ticket and fly to Florida and then check in to a room on their own at the Grand Floridian.
Right.
That's how that happens. And
That's what, $700 a night?
Exactly. So that's just how that worked out. But I love it. It's so cheesy and I loved it so much. Well, and I'll tell you, it's one of those shows that's hard to find in reruns.
Oh.
Because...
kind of like the last episode sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like I always catch the last episode and I hate it. I think it's stupid.
I've never seen the last episode of Full House.
You haven't?
No.
It's stupid.
Is it really? That's disappointing.
Because Michelle gets her memory back. And she fell off a horse. Because she went off on a horse by herself.
Okay, she deserves all this. She ran away at Disney World.
Exactly.
She fell off a horse. I'm sorry. That's called karma. That's what you get for being
You guys are funny.
a little snotty brat.
It makes me so angry. This is why I don't like Michelle. So anyway, the last episode was dumb. And it was also kind of sad because, I loved the show.
Now I gotta watch it.
You do have to watch it.
Is that the one where DJ goes to the prom?
Yes. With Steve. He comes back. Spoiler alert.
Steve's come back from Disney World in the Grand Floridian.
Right.
He's
to
made
take
it to the
her.
prom.
Because they broke up.
Oh, they did?
They did. Do you remember Cobra?
No.
Okay, Jodie, do you remember Cobra?
No.
What's his name? No, Viper. Viper. You remember Viper.
You're thinking
I'm thinking our old neighbor.
I was gonna say our old neighbor that we found sitting on the floor when we came home one day.
Right. His name was Cobra. No, this was Viper. Close enough. It's like a snake. Is a viper a snake?
Was he like a bad boy?
He was a bad boy. He was in Jesse's band.
Oh.
He was cute. And
Where's
do you remember
Viper
Nelson?
now? Like Nelson the twins?
No.
Like After the Rain Nelson?
Like Nelson, DJ's boyfriend.
No.
So DJ had a rich boyfriend, Nelson, and then she met Viper and she dumped Nelson for Viper or something happened there. And then they both were vying for her love.
What was DJ giving up? She's got one guy flying across the country to meet her on vacation. She's got a rich boyfriend.
And then she has this sensitive rock star boyfriend that's
I'm pretty sure almost every girl wanted to be her.
I wanted to be DJ.
Her hair.
I still want to be
her
DJ.
Clothes. Yeah.
I mean,
she's fun. She's not annoying.
She's smart.
Right.
But she's not a geek.
But she
You know
makes
what I mean?
mistakes. And she learns from them.
She does make mistakes, and she does learn from them.
She wasn't a very good friend to Kimmy Gibbler, though. I don't think she was a very good friend. She wasn't very nice to her all the time.
No, you're right, though. She wasn't always a very good friend to Kimmy Gibbler, but then she would learn and she'd apologize. And Kimmy would be like, that's okay. Remember Kimmy's stupid husband? All he said was, whatever. Do you remember him? This is like the later years. I don't remember his name.
Kimmy got married?
Kimmy got married in like Las Vegas or something. Or maybe not Vegas, but some chapel.
Wasn't she in high school?
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that. Okay, so we were talking about DJ, right?
Yes.
Right, how awesome she is.
Yes.
So speaking of DJ, another girl on another show, very obscure show that I was obsessed with. My sister and I wanted to be her, a little show called Out of This World. Her name was Evie on the show. And she was, can I read you the description for the show? Because I remember in my mind being like, there was a weird crystal diamond that she would talk to her dad, and I didn't remember the details. This is what it says. The series revolves around Evie Ethel Garland, a young girl who discovers on her 13th birthday that her father is an alien named Troy from the planet Antarius who married her mother and, quote, merged life forms to create Evie. Evie's half-alien heritage gives her superhuman abilities. Most of the episodes revolve around Evie misusing her powers and causing some trouble, which she spends the rest of the episode trying to fix. And she could freeze time by putting her fingertips together.
I didn't remember the alien thing.
She would go to her room and she would talk to her dad in this big diamond-shaped crystal, and it would light up, and he'd be like, it's okay, Evie.
I remember the crystal.
The father was Burt Reynolds.
That was the voice?
That's what it says.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That really makes the show even more strange.
That really does.
I talk about shows that would never go on the air now.
Never.
Maybe,
Never.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking Small Wonder.
I love Small Wonder.
Vicky the robot.
So I don't think I've ever seen this show.
You never seen Out of This World?
No.
I bet it's on YouTube somewhere.
So maybe I've seen
I
it.
bet you've seen it, and if you saw it, you'd be like, oh yeah, totally.
So is this off TGIF or was this on TGIF?
This was not on TGIF.
Because I have a non-TGIF one.
What is
And
it?
then Swan's Crossing.
We could do a whole episode on Swan's Crossing.
Did you ever see Swan's Crossing?
No. It sounds familiar, but I don't remember that.
Gotta grow up.
It was like a teen soap.
Yes.
Like a Dawson's Creek?
But like more like the soap than
Right.
Dawson's Creek.
And it had Sarah Michelle Gellar in it.
Because of course.
Right. And it had one of the Sweet Valley High twins. That's all I can think of.
I'm going to have to look this up because it sounds familiar.
Wasn't there Garrett? Who was Garrett?
Oh, okay. So I wrote letters to Garrett.
He was hot.
But here's the thing. So there was never an address to write to Garrett because I wanted to write to him.
Right.
So I would write to, because it was on Fox, I would write to Luke Perry, like his P.O. box. I would write letters to him and send them to Luke Perry to give
Luke.
to him.
You don't mind delivering this letter for me, do you?
Whoever the actor was that played him, C.O. Luke Perry.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I remember doing that because I loved Garrett. Like, I loved Garrett.
That's hilarious though.
I thought I told you that.
I did not know that you used to write to Luke Perry.
I was hoping maybe he'd give him the letter.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Teen Beat and stuff like that. Their addresses, those little addresses were in the magazine.
Like at the back of the magazine,
yeah.
they'd have the pages of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That
Who
is so
played
funny.
Garrett?
But here's the problem with Swan's Crossing, is that the show left with a cliffhanger.
It did. It was one season.
It was one season and it never came back.
I think you should write Luke Perry.
Luke Perry, how do we make this happen?
Attention line, Swan's Crossing. This is going to be kind of a depressing adjacent to that story. In the realm of somewhat stalking, do you remember the show My Sister Sam?
Yes.
Yes. So, oh my gosh.
Yes.
With Rebecca Schaefer when she
Yes.
got murdered. That really was the first time you heard about stalking.
Yes.
It was. And that like shook me
It did.
to my core. I remember the 2020 app. That
I remember the 2020
was
episode.
on every Friday night at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
As part of TGIF. Or at
That's
the end
right.
of TGIF.
I'd always watch 2020.
I did too, and it was inappropriate.
No, my mom was very excited that I was very into 2020.
My mom too.
I was like, hello, I like Unsolved Mysteries. Of course I'm going to be into this.
2020 with Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters.
That's right.
I loved watching 2020.
Yeah.
But some of the stories were inappropriate.
We had some good conversations, some good family conversations after that.
See, I watched these shows by myself in my room.
I didn't have a TV in my room.
Yeah. So I didn't, my mom didn't know I was watching 2020. I would fall asleep watching 2020. If I honestly even made it to 2020.
Oh, I would have stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning if my parents had let me.
Now, when we first moved and had cable, I would put on MTV in my room, and my dad would come in because he'd hear Guns N' Roses, and he would be ugly that I had it on, but I would pretend I was sleeping, and he'd turn it off.
Smooth move.
Yeah, I would pretend I was sleeping, like he didn't know, and then I would turn it back on.
That's pretty awesome.
If my dad didn't want me watching MTV, why did he put a TV in an 8-year-old's bedroom?
The same reason I give my kids iPads.
Yeah, same thing. Exactly.
Leave me alone.
Here you go.
Right.
Can I bring up my least favorite show that was ever on TGIF?
Yes, please.
Dinosaurs.
Can I just tell you,
Yep,
I
agree.
am so glad that you said that.
Yep.
Hated it.
No, I wasn't
That
a
show
fan.
was dumb. And that baby.
Oh, it's in the same category as Michelle Tanner. Not the mama.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I actually had to pause for a second and think, is it the same category or is it worse? But no, it's the same. It's the same. I did not like that show. My brother liked that show, so I would
think
watch
it was more
with my
so for
brother.
like younger. Like we were too old for it.
I don't think we were, though, because there was some like...
They try to, I mean, the fact that they try to sexualize dinosaurs, like
Right.
Robbie, the brother, was supposed to be hot.
Right.
And you're like, he's a stegosaurus.
It
Not
was
my
just
son.
weird.
Thing.
It was just weird because they were puppets,
They were puppets.
and like I was very appreciative of the craft.
Yeah, totally. And like,
You know?
it was a Jim Henson thing, and like, I love
Right,
Jim Henson
right.
and all of that. I could appreciate what they were doing.
But I just wasn't into it.
I was not into it whatsoever. I thought it was weird and creepy. But it was like a big deal show. Like, that show was like groundbreaking when it was on.
Really?
It really was.
That was popular. It was really popular.
It was really popular. It was like
Didn't,
the first show of its
Pizza Hut
kind.
do like a thing?
Yes. Like with the baby.
Oh, was that
like,
the
you get the
Land?
little stuffed babies or something.
Or maybe that was the Land Before Time.
Well, I think they did something with that too.
Oh,
yeah.
Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Book It? Did you guys have the Book It program?
Oh yeah.
We talked about this recently.
No. Book It?
I talked about this with somebody recently.
We talked about Pizza Hut being an experience
Maybe it was at work I was talking to somebody about the Book It program. It was at work.
that they had at the Bangor Public Library where you would go and you would put the sticker up
Yeah.
and you'd get Pizza Hut.
Yes. I never did it, but I kind of remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we didn't do it, though.
I have a picture of me at Bangor Public Library.
Really?
With a sticker, and I'm wearing like, do you guys remember those tank top skirt dresses?
I do.
That would like, they're one piece,
Yep.
but it was like a skirt, but it was shorts. I had one of those on that had like, it was pink with stripes on it, and I'm putting the sticker on the thing like, why are you taking my picture doing everything?
Those outfits were awesome, by the way.
I gotta find that picture. You know what else we forgot to post?
What?
M&M guy. We didn't post it.
We need to post M&M Guy.
Nobody said anything though. I don't think anyone's that concerned about seeing M&M guy.
Well, I think we should post M&M Guy. We
I gotta
do
see
that.
how hot he is.
He was hot.
Oh.
He was hot. Like, there's no denying it. No denying it.
Nope.
I mean, you look at the picture now, and he was like 16 in the picture, and we'll be like,
Yeah,
that's
but
gross.
think about like
But at the
put yourself
time-
back into there.
At the time,
Oh,
He was
hot to trot.
I was just gonna say that.
Are you serious?
But I thought it sounded too old woman.
Hey, I'm gonna own it.
You're an old soul.
I am an old soul.
So, anyway, dinosaurs was
Yeah, I wasn't all
stupid.
about it. Nope.
But
no.
it was important at the time. It was an
Yeah.
important show. It was one of those shows, like, remember the back of yearbooks where they'd have like
Year in review.
Yes.
It would be like one of those shows
right,
that would have been in like a yearbook.
Right.
which we were just like meh about.
Just the 10 of us.
Loved it. And that was a spinoff too.
It was
What was that a spinoff from?
Growing Pains.
What?
Yes.
I love Growing Pains.
He was what's his name?
Coach Lubbock.
No, Coach Lubbock, but who on Growing Pains? Why can't I think of Kirk Cameron's?
Mike Sieber.
Remember his friend Boner?
Yes.
Yes.
Did Boner die?
Boner died.
Or is he like still missing?
Wait, what?
There was a thing with Boner. I forgot about it until just that, like, literally this moment.
I love that we are now talking about what happened to Jon Brennan, what happened to Boner.
I mean, really.
The Wonderful World of Tuna.
Oh,
Did he die?
he passed away.
That's a much nicer way to put it.
So this is an article from the New York Post on February 26th, 2010. Friends searching a Vancouver park yesterday found the body of missing Growing Pains actor Andrew Koenig.
Yeah.
Authorities said the actor's father, Walter Koenig,
Yeah.
his son took his own life.
That's sad.
Oh, no.
He was missing for a while, I think, and like people didn't know where he was. Like there was a search.
Boner.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
I always liked their friendship on the
Yeah.
show.
But why was his name Boner?
That was his nickname.
I know, but
Wow.
Why would they call him Boner?
why? Boner's kind of like...
Risque.
It is.
Did you miss that day in sex ed in like 5th grade?
They didn't
No.
call him Boner.
Right, but like...
How that made it on TV.
Right.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
I don't
never
know.
looked at it that way at the time.
I did.
I didn't know what a boner was back then.
Yeah.
I did.
Like I didn't know that
because-
it was called a boner.
Well, you know.
Their friendship was a lot like Doogie Howser and his
Yes.
friend.
Vinny?
Vinny, yes.
Vinny Del Pino. Was that his name?
Oh, that was another good show.
That was a great show.
But Just the 10 of Us was a spinoff of that because, yeah, Coach Lubbock got a new job, so he packed up his whole family and moved out to the most amazing house with the most amazing attic ever on TV.
It
Yes.
really was awesome.
But again, I think it's one of those houses that like it didn't make sense.
No.
The front of the house, it's like an old farmhouse.
Yeah.
Like an old farmhouses didn't have that. What would you call it? Like New England.
Dutch colonial kind of
You know what I mean?
attic.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Maybe it would. Maybe it did. But
well, maybe I think it might.
maybe?
But it doesn't matter. Like the houses never match up anyway.
No.
Ever, because it just doesn't work.
No.
Their porch was the same as the Torkelsons. Do you remember that
Oh my
show?
gosh, the Torkelsons.
I love the Torkelsons.
I forgot about that.
Torkelsons was a good show.
That was not on for very long, was it?
Well,
That was
the
a Disney show, wasn't it?
I think it was on ABC.
Was it? Okay.
Well, no, it may have started on one and it moved to another because it went by another name.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right, because I think that was a spinoff of something, wasn't it?
It was something weird.
Okay, you ready? So it was only on from 1991 to 1992.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for the second and final season, the series was retooled and renamed Almost Home.
That's what it was.
And
I loved that show.
I loved this show so much. I really, really liked it a lot. And I was
Brittany
really
Murphy
upset.
on that show?
Um,
Like in one of the 2 seasons or something? There was a girl because there was a girl on it that looked like her, but it wasn't her. Brittany Murphy, she was.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Yes, she was on there. Yep. You're right.
On the second season. I love that. That was a great show. I'm glad you
was.
brought that up. I'm going to watch it on YouTube.
I really,
For
really
fun.
liked that show a lot.
Did they move or did city people move in with them? Because it was like city and country coming together.
Yes.
And Brittany Murphy was a city girl.
I think they moved. But
I'm going to have
what
to
do I
watch
know?
this. I'm going to have to watch this again. It was on NBC.
I totally forgot about that show. But again, she had a window seat. Do you
She did
remember?
have a
Because she
window
would
seat.
talk on the... I do
Who
remember
did she
that.
talk to? Did she talk to like...
Man in the Moon or...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And she had a southern accent. They were all...
She had
right?
a serious southern accent. I remember hers.
Mhm. And she was cool. Like, she had cool hair and... Yeah.
I loved her hair.
Yeah.
But in my book, anybody that had like really curly, awesome hair with like that could poof it up in a barrette, like with the bangs,
Yeah.
had the best hair ever.
Yeah.
I always wanted that.
Yeah.
So then that brings us to Boy Meets World. I didn't watch like a ton of Boy Meets World, but I watched some Boy Meets World.
Yeah, because that came out in 93. And again, like I said, when we started getting older, Friday nights, we were doing stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I maybe watched the first season, maybe, but I didn't really follow this one.
Okay, so I didn't watch it much at the time. I think it's a great show. And again, like they have a Disney episode, so I've watched that 75 times. But in the beginning, Topanga was more like a hippie type. Like her
I
name's
don't remember
Topanga. Her
that.
parents are like hippies.
That's how I remember her.
And she was more like spacey, like I can't think of the word, like eclectic.
Yeah, kind of crunchy granola.
Yeah. And as the show went on, she became to be more of like a smart, like goody two shoes, like whatever. She kind of, her character, like, you know,
That's too bad.
developed like differently, like went a different route. I didn't really care for her all that much, but I liked Corey and Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked their older brother. I don't remember his name on the show, but
Eric.
Yes, Eric Matthews.
Friedel. Is that how you
Yes,
say it?
he was A-okay in my book.
Oh, hey.
Then there was Sean Matthews,
Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Mr. Feeney, what a nice old man.
Is he still alive? I don't know. I didn't watch that through and through. Girl Meets World, they had some really good episodes. I'm not joking. Like, really tough topics.
They did have some good episodes. I didn't watch all of them.
There was one where her friend, she realized her dad
Yes.
just wasn't,
Yes.
not into her, but like couldn't be what she wanted him to be.
Right.
And that was a tough episode.
And wasn't
That's
that
tough to watch that and know that that happens.
It does. And I saw that episode and it was very sad.
Yeah.
Like I felt really bad.
I
for her.
cried.
I don't think I cried, but I probably could have if I was more emotional.
Yeah.
You're connected to your emotions like that. I'm not.
But I'm not like out and about like crying over like
No,
you know,
but that
like,
it was like a very moving show.
right. Like if I can get in it, like
Yeah.
not necessarily personalize it, but like I'm very empathetic.
Yes, I'm not.
So if you're telling me something, I'm all in and I'm listening, and so I'm going through the emotions with you.
You are.
And that's why I get upset.
It's a very nice way to be. And we'll probably cut a lot of that out. But,
yeah. It's
but
okay.
But it's
all
fun.
right. No.
It's easy conversation.
That's the thing. Like the best episodes that we have is just a conversation. Like we're all hanging out and just talking, and then we just take it. You know,
we just do what we need to do.
right?
So Darcy and I, when we were in Disney World, we saw them taping an episode.
That's right.
Their Disney World episode.
That's right.
And it was I have pictures of it, and the scenes that we watched them film never made it on TV.
Oh,
I know. So I was like, we were so excited because we thought maybe we'll be like in the background.
Yeah.
They were like in Tomorrowland in front of what's now Stitch's Great Escape, or whatever it's called. But
The worst ride
ever
attraction in Disney World.
It was Alien Encounter at the time. And they were eating churros out front.
Oh.
And I remember thinking, like, that's odd. They don't sell churros in this part of the Magic Kingdom. But in the show, apparently they do.
That's weird that you knew that.
It's weird. It is. But Darcy was like, I love churros. And I love Ryder Strong. And we stood there forever. But anyway, it was kind of neat. Matthew Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
He was cute, too, on the show.
Yeah.
So, anyway, and there were other shows on TGIF.
I never got into Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I didn't either.
Until Bren got into watching it. And we watched she was all excited because the NSYNC episode was on. She ran down.
That was
and
the
said,
only
NSYNC is
episode.
going to be on Sabrina.
That was the only episode I ever watched, is Sabrina back then.
I'm pretty sure I had it on tape.
I'm pretty sure you did have it on tape. But I thought it was worth mentioning because that show had a huge following.
Yeah.
A lot of people really love Sabrina. Yeah. And maybe
I really liked Melissa Joan Hart because I loved her in
Clarissa.
Clarissa
Explains It All. I did too.
Did you ever watch that, Jodie?
I watched Clarissa, another window seat
Yeah.
room.
Yes.
That was the best. But yeah, I was not into Sabrina.
No.
What about 15? We could have a whole show on 15.
We'll do a show on Nickelodeon shows.
How you doing, Ryan Reynolds?
So we were going to talk about commercials. I think we should probably save that for another day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could actually be its own mini-sode.
It really could.
That
It
could.
actually could be a regular episode.
It could be a regular episode.
Because I was going to talk about Crispy Critters.
So, which I don't really remember.
I don't either, but I remember the song and I still haven't Googled it.
Okay, let's not Google it until then.
Okay.
So maybe, Jodie, we can have you back on again and
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about
do
that.
commercials.
I would
Like,
totally
at some
love
point.
that because I had a blast finding the commercials.
I love commercials. All right, so good. It's a date.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So we're going to do commercials, yeah. So that was awesome.
We just talked about everything, you guys.
Right. And we had more stuff to talk about, but we're going to save that for another episode.
We'll have Jodie back.
Yeah.
Because-
She'll be a recurring guest.
Yeah, because like we literally just talked for a long time about a lot of stuff, and I'm so excited.
Some of these things might not make it to the
Which is why I'm not saying what we talked about.
cool
Because some things might not make it to like the real program. But
is that, let's ask Jodie that real quick. Did you ever refer to TV shows as programs?
No.
Okay, that's a Maine thing, I guess, or like maybe a New England thing.
Maybe it is.
Because my mom would be like, "Oh, there's a wonderful program on this evening."
Or
Or maybe is it just a my mom thing?
I think it's a your mom thing. So, Jodie, thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Yes,
We appreciate it.
we do.
Our podcast. I need
Yes.
to call it a podcast. It's a
Well, you don't have to
podcast.
call it a podcast on the podcast because
I need to get myself in that frame of mind so people know we're a podcast. So, Jodie, thank you so much for coming on. We really, really loved having you here.
yes,
You're always welcome.
yes.
And why don't you just take a moment to let those people that are listening know where to find Welcome to RealiTV?
Well, thank you again for having me. We had way too much fun, so I hope we do this again. You come on my podcast, I come on your podcast. But for those listeners who are looking for just a good laugh, head to Welcome to RealiTV. I'm on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, basically any podcast app, except SoundCloud is kind of goofy. They only have a couple episodes on there. Otherwise, just go to welcometo realitv.com and you'll find links to all those good places: Facebook, Instagram, Welcome to RealiTV, Twitter @RealiTVPod.
Awesome,
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll definitely have you on again if you will come and chat with us again.
I would love to.
Yay!
Yay!
Bye.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
And we're back.
That was good. You're like, bye. So that was really great. We have a lot of fun with Jodie, and we're so happy to have her as a friend. Not only like she comes on, we're podcast buddies too.
We are.
So we help each other out, and we really
support
like
each
that.
other.
We do.
And if you guys want to support us, there's a number of ways you can do that.
That's right.
You can go right to our website.
That's right.
Click on donate. Mm-hmm. It'll bring you to our Patreon.
Yes. And there's different levels.
There's different levels you can take a look at and pick one that works for you, and great.
And everything goes right back into the podcast.
Directly back in.
Just helps us pay for our monthly stuff and keeps us going, creating new episodes. And we'll give a little something back to you too when you become a Patreon member.
Right. You'll see it all right on there.
That's right. And we'd actually like to give a shout out to our Patreon members. So we're going to go ahead and do that. These are our Patreon members, our Patreon peeps.
Patreon peeps.
As we call them, for November. Charlene, Chrissy, Courtney, Haley, Jerusha, Jill, Kelly, and Christine. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
You know what you did. You helped us out. You supported us. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that so much.
I'm making weird hand movements.
They can't see that.
That's true. Probably a good thing we haven't
You're doing like a hand jive.
Yeah, it was. No.
I would
This was
I would
like
get voted
rapping.
off.
This is like rapping.
It's like,
I thought I told you I quit rapping.
all right.
All right. So, yeah.
You can also go to our website and click shop.
Hey, we got a shop that we do through Teespring.
And it's pretty cool.
I'm excited to get my sweatshirt. I can't wait to get my hoodie.
I know. I need to order mine still.
Yeah, you
And when
do.
I do, I'm going to take a picture in it. I'm going to post it.
And guess what my family members are getting for Christmas?
You know what you did.
You can get some merch.
That's
No.
perfect.
No, actually, my family members do want merch. Brent and Brody want a mug.
Sadie hasn't seen it.
She'll probably say, I want that tote with your face on it.
Oh, Mummy's face.
With the laser background.
I want that tote.
But any profits that we make from the store, they go directly back into the podcast. Also, if you want to purchase any My Soul Call, whatever, just logo only merchandise, which all starts with
MSCW.
That's right. 75% of the profits of that go back to the Remember Betty. And if you want to learn more about Remember Betty, you can go to www.rememberbetty.com. Didn't really need the www, but
That's okay.
that was totally like 2000.
That was totally.
www.
You could have said HTTPS
colon slash.
www.
But I didn't.
You didn't.
I just went into the www.
So,
So you can go to rememberbetty.com and learn more about Remember Betty.
and we're going to have some Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales coming up.
Yes.
So we'll post about that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Check our Twitter. Check our Facebook.
Right. It's going to be
Social
for a
media.
limited time, but
Limited time, but it'll be out there. So check it out.
right.
And maybe you just don't have the money.
And
You don't
that's
want to
okay.
do it.
And that's okay. That's all right.
fine too. You could really help us out.
You can. You can go on iTunes on the desktop or Apple Podcasts on your phone if you have an iPhone. You can go in and you can rate and review us. And that really helps us get seen in the podcast world so other people can find us. And we totally understand if you're on Android and you don't use Apple Podcasts, that's fine. You know, most of the people who listen to podcasts are on Apple Podcasts as of right now. So that does help us. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So, and you know, if you listen on SoundCloud, you can like our episodes. If you don't listen on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, that's fine too. But
We would like it all.
yeah, every little bit helps.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you.
So thank you very, very much. So that's it. Should we talk about that?
Let's talk about that.
We hit 10,000 downloads,
Yay!
which in the podcast world is a big deal. So
That is a big
thanks,
deal.
guys.
Thank you so much. That's because of you.
Yeah. So
We appreciate
thanks
it.
for listening to us.
I know. Who'd have found
You guys are awesome. I always thought like maybe you and I and Kevin would listen.
Like we'd have a few.
Yeah.
Like a small
And that was
handful.
it. We'd still do it
Yeah, it'd be fun.
because it was still fun.
It is fun, but
It's therapeutic.
it is therapeutic.
It really is. I look forward to our podcast episodes.
It's fun, and it's fun to just take that time and like reminisce.
Yeah. So, thanks. Gonna have a great episode for you on Thursday.
Yep.
Nope, not Thursday.
Wednesday.
On Wednesday. We're gonna
Yep.
have a great episode for you on Wednesday. And yeah.
Happy
You guys are great.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving in the U.S. because we do have other listeners
True.
in other countries. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
We have listeners in Japan. Hello, Japan.
Hi.
You know, let us know that you're listening. That's pretty cool, huh?
That is very cool.
I saw that today. I was like, whoa, Japan? Hey, Japan.
What's up?
Australia? What's going on? Canada? Hello, neighbors.
How are you?
Hello, our neighbors to the north. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
We do. Considering people pretty much think we're in Canada anyway.
Yes, they do.
So we could be like a dual state.
We could be, but we're not.
But we're not.
So,
Yeah. All right.
'Kay.
So, hey,
thanks.
we love you.
Talk to you soon.
We will
Ish.
see you soon. Bye.
Bye.